One thing I really want to just get you to address is there were a lot of people who heard what you had to say, and a lot of them are offended by the idea that you would repeat Jim Crow 3 times in your comments as if to suggest that that was a time period because that Black families were, in your words, together, because, in your words, Black people were not just more conservative, they voted more conservatively. That's a good thing. I mean, it sounds like nostalgia. Do you regret using that time frame as a reference?
Nobody ever made nostalgia. That was never the point. It wasn't even about that. So where now I'm going to get my backup is I didn't say that. I didn't even insinuate that. That is where the media and, yes, Hakeem Jeffries and a lot of other people are taking
what
it.
exactly didn't you insinuate?
No, back up.
I'm just trying to understand what you're saying. What didn't you insinuate?
The premise of your question, I did not insinuate. That is what people are trying to weave into what I said. What I said is crystal clear. It's on my social media. Go to @ByronDonalds on X. You can see the full clip. Abby, I appreciate you playing the full clip. What you are dealing with right now is a political environment where now anything I might say or any major surrogate might say is going to be twisted into the lens of race. That was never the point, not the idea
I just want
whatsoever.
I mean, just to clarify my questioning of you,
Sure.
I mean, I understand that this idea that you said it was better, you didn't use the words better. But when you talk about that time period, you're suggesting that because the Black family was together, they were better off than they are now.
See, this is the problem, Abby.
So are you saying that that's not the case? That the Black family was not better off when they were, in your words, together?
Abby, let me put it to you like this.
In the Jim Crow era.
Let's agree on something. I am, obviously one of the better communicators in the Republican Party. I know how to put words together. I do it very, very often. So I'm not going to say something that I do not agree with. What America is seeing right now, especially Black America, is the gaslighting that unfortunately does happen in politics, where you take my comments and you want to weave your own political viewpoint into what I said. What I said is very clear.
I asked you to explain because I wanted to.
I don't really understand how Squeaker Johnson actually is still within the job. Nobody within his own party likes him. His credibility is zero. He's hanging on in there, as a friend of mine always says, hanging on in there like Chuck. Sorry, it'll be ages if I start explaining that one. Something else which also happened on Fox, and it's so weird because you get abstract situations with Fox where it's like, is this really the cable news station that's so far at the backside of Mr. Felon? However, there was a moment with Jared Moshkovich which is just perfect. I mean, James Comer just totally gets rinsed and rolled over.
That's are dubious. Mr. Moskowitz, where are we in the impeachment investigation? They started this 11 months.
Is that still going on?
That's the point.
It's going great for Comer. I mean, everything I read, it's just going so well for him. He should just keep doing what you're doing, James. It's going great.
It's unlikely the DOJ would prosecute these cases, and that's precisely the point Republicans want to make. The GOP alleges there's different treatment for Democrats, and Hunter Biden in particular. John?
All right, we'll see where this goes. Chad Pergram for us. Chad?
People are claiming you want retribution. People are claiming you want what has happened to you done to Democrats. Would you do that ever?
Look, what's happened to me has never happened in this country before. And it has to stop because...
Wait a minute. I want to hear that again. It has to stop.
Well, it does have to stop because we're not going to have a country...
And if you're
anymore.
elected, what does that mean? Define that.
Look, what I've gone through, nobody's ever gone through. I'm a very legitimate person. I built a great business.
Focus on those that want people to believe that you want retribution, that you will use the system of justice to go after your political enemies.
So, number one, they're wrong. It has to stop because otherwise we're not going to have a country. Look, when this election is over, based on what they've done, I would have every right to go after them. And it's easy because it's Joe Biden and you see all the criminality.
Will you pledge to restore equal justice, equal application of our laws, end this practice of weaponization? Is that a promise you're going to make?
You have to do it. But it's awful. Look, I know you want me to say something.
No, I don't want you to say. I'm
but
asking.
I don't want to look naive.
I don't want
What
to.
they've done to the Republican Party, they want to arrest on no crime. I will do everything in my power not to let. But there's tremendous criminality here. What they're doing to me, if it's going to continue, we're really not going to have much of a country left.
Okay, Willie, help me out here. First of all, no criminality. This was not Biden's Justice Department in the criminal trial in New York City. It was a jury of Donald Trump's peers, 12 people and alternates, just to fact check him right there. But also Hannity, Mr. Softball, setting him up, saying, come on, you wouldn't actually have retribution. You don't mean that. And of course, he's like, yes, I do. Just like with the documents, when Hannity was like, come on, you didn't actually take the documents. Donald Trump is not messing around. He promises retribution. And as he even told Hannity, when Hannity gave him a chance to semi-cover it, he will serve it up.
Tim Scott, Uncle Dim Scott, I find vile for so many reasons, and most of them aren't particularly linked to politics. It's just as a person, he's kind of wimpy, doesn't really have any deep down convictions, and is desperate, and I repeat, desperate with a capital D for, well, I think power. Somebody somewhere has told him that he has a chance of being vice president on felon Trump's whatever it is felon Trump is planning. So he goes along with all of it. The thing he did today, voting against the right of a woman to choose what they want to do with their own body is appalling. And the worst thing is, he can't even explain his own convictions. I'm not spoiling it. You see, he was on with Bret Baier, and I'll let you see the clip. But basically, Bret Baier does help him get out of a sticky position. He can't answer why he is against women have the right to choose what they want to do with their own body. By just turning the conversation to abortion. I repeat, Tim Scott is vile. He really is just a vile person.
Mr. Scott of South Carolina, no. Ms. Markowski, aye.
This vote, Right to Contraception Act, failed in the Senate today. It had to get 60 to get past the procedural hurdle. 39 nays. You were one of the nays.
Yes.
So for folks who, why vote nay, and explain how that's not a bad issue for Republicans.
Yeah, this is just a shame that the Democrats are willing to try to politicize whether or not women have access to contraceptions. The bottom line is they absolutely do, and that will continue. The question is why Democrats continue to take the most extreme position on abortion in the country. All the Senate Democrats have voted, not talked about, but voted for abortion up until the day of birth. The former Virginia governor, Democrat pediatrician, has suggested even infanticide. I'm not making this up, Brett. These are votes taken in our chamber. That tells me very clearly they're doing every single thing they can to hide from their own voting record. This is an issue that we should continue to push, because this is an issue where the American people say, wait, abortion up until the day of birth? That's wrong. Infanticide, allowing a child to be born and then letting it die, that's un-American. And so when you hear what Chuck Schumer suggests,
most Democrats
it's just
are
wrong.
in that space. Why does he do that vote today on contraception?
Well, listen, the polls are clear that they are losing this November election. The day of reckoning is November 5th of this year. They're doing anything they can to try to demonize the Republicans as if we're going to do something as ridiculous as he suggests. He's just wrong. He knows it. The American people can see through it, and we'll continue to push the issues that the American people are focused on and give wide access to everything that today is already available.
I love this guy. He says, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one.
As my first order of business, I hereby declare martial law.
Citizens of the new America. Here are today's announcements. Effective immediately, all children are now considered spiritual soldiers of MAGA. Regardless of rape, incest, or health of the woman, abortion is now illegal. Anyone caught providing or receiving an abortion will be charged with murder.